Hello again, this is Lisette. Today is September 2nd, 2019. We're in Florida waiting for Dorian. Um, and a prayer is being sent to the people in the Bahamas because I think they are really going through something very difficult, very similar to what Puerto Rico went through in 2017. The destruction is not only physical and material, but it's also moral and in a very deep sense a very life transforming situation. So today I have meditated and I have laid out the cards. I'm using the Rider White Tarot. I'm using again Osho's Centaurot. I'm using the map, which is like an oracle, and I'm using also the healing angels, just one card from the healing angels. And I've meditated and asked for guidance as to what we're supposed to talk to about today. And as always, it's amazing how the cards just tie together and develop a line of um, a message they want to portray. As I said before, I'm a psychiatrist, so my approach towards these is very psychological. I'm trying to help people understand how psyche works. Psyche, it's really a word that means soul. So, in my opinion, a psychiatrist who does only deal with a person's mind or emotions is missing the point. We need to deal with the fact that we're much more than a physical, emotional, and mental creature. There's a fire inside us that's called spirit, and it ties together what is conscience. So we're dealing with psyche, with conscience, with fire, with soul. We're dealing with evolution and with transformation, and that's very important. So today, the message has been quite interesting. First of all, we have the three cards from the White Tarot, and the first card is the Five of Wands, and this means the conflicts and the situations that we have in our lives. I think we've seen this card before. Um, but really, if you look at them, very, they're young men. They are kind of playing around with wands. They're not really swords, so they can really hurt each other very much. So, in the context of this card and the second card, which is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is a man working at his craft and being very concentrated into doing his job, and then the third card, which is the Nine of Cups. So we have a five, an eight, and a nine, and for me, these cards mean that sometimes we get so caught up into the little conflicts and situations that we have in our lives that we miss the point and we lose focus in what we're supposed to be doing. And when we're concentrated into what we are supposed to be doing, we can find fulfillment and emotional stability within us. This man is fulfilled and is happy within himself. There's no one else there. It's not that he is a selfish person, it's that he has found the fountain of fulfillment within his life and himself, and these are all of his emotional needs being fulfilled by his own doing. And this we can do when we concentrate in the things, little things we have at hand, our little jobs. I remember Mother Teresa used to say that meditation was constant, and that we should focus on the job at hand, and that's the only way we transcend and we do great things in life. So for me, this means that we lose a lot of our energy in the context of little conflicts and things that we have around us. Again, the law of metaphysics I talked about the last time. The things that you put your attention to will grow. So if you put a lot of attention on the little conflicts and little things that you have in your life, that's what's going to grow. If you get your attention and focus on the job at hand, and washing the dishes, cooking a dinner, you know paying attention to the person you have in front of you, those are the little things that add up to you eventually becoming emotionally fulfilled. Even doing things for yourself mindfully, do things that bring you joy. We've talked about that, and that help you stay in the moment. The gateway towards infinity is the present. It's here now. So if we are thinking about the future, we're going to be anxious and worried. If we're thinking about the past, we're going to be sad and depressed and missing things that we have lost. But if we are here now, doing exactly what we're doing right now, we're going to feel fulfilled, okay? Instead of losing energy in little conflicts that we have, or the conflicts that we have in life. That would make you lose faith, probably. So the second set of cards is the Zen, Osho Zen card. This one I love. Look at that. There's a man rising up. It's a new vision. It says new vision. There's the old you, the new you. And this is a square, a triangle, and a circle. So the square means the physical body, the four-dimensional being, or our material being. The triangle means the transformation, and then this is like unity or integration. So this card is asking us to have a new vision, to try to look at things in a different way, and in a way it's a transcendence. And the way the cards are being laid out and what happened with the rest of the cards, there's a call for us to integrate into our daily lives the ability and the process of asking our higher selves, which is what the round figure means, the mandala, the circle, to assist us in our daily lives. Whenever you feel you have lost yourself in the little struggles, in the little fights, okay, you ask for guidance from your higher self. You ask from a higher plan to give you a solution, a new way at looking at things. Because, for example, A Course in Miracles, I've been a teacher for A Course in Miracles for many, many years. Course in Miracles teaches us that a real miracle, it's not more than a change of perception, a change in the way we're looking at something. And according to Course in Miracles, the way to do that is to ask the Holy Spirit, which is what it uses as the messenger between your higher self and yourself. In the teachings of Course in Miracles, it would be between Jesus and you. But it doesn't matter what you think. That's not what's important. Is that you understand the process of asking your higher self for guidance. Your higher self is a transcendent part of yourself. We live in a multidimensional universe. It's at least 11 dimensions according to physics, and we only know 3 of them, and partially the 4th, which would be probably time. So there's parts of yourself, like dimensions of yourself, that are existing at this moment that are not palpable, we're not able to sense through our 5 senses. But it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It has to exist according to physics. So there's a way for you to try to communicate with that part of yourself. Course in Miracles uses the Holy Spirit. You can use whatever system you like. If you like to think about angels, then ask your angels. If you want to ask your crystals, ask your crystals. If you want to ask the animals in nature, ask them. Just ask for guidance from your higher self and transform your vision. That's what helps you ascend and get closer to this ethereal being, not this one, and to go into your higher self. And again, it's funny because this one has to do with this one, existence, existencia, which means just beingness. That ability to stop thinking about what we're doing, how we are portraying ourselves, how are people perceiving us, and just being. The level of beingness is so important in life. It's not only doing, it's being and vibrating, just getting it out there, your energy. But to do that, you have to be in that zone, okay? The zone of doing, and later we'll see another card that talks about being in that zone of just being here now and enjoying and taking it all in. and projecting that into the world. This one is about projecting it. This one is about being just there. See, there's the simple and ordinary. That you can find that zone, that here now, that completion, that emotional fulfillment that we saw in the Nine of Cups. With every single little thing that you're doing in your life, it doesn't have to be huge things. And that's the secret of emotional fulfillment. Not waiting for great things to happen. Just to be here now, enjoying what we're doing right now, being fully present at that moment. And then it's when you can be, just exist. You're throwing out that vibration of total fulfillment. What do you think is going to happen with the people around you when you do that? They're going to feel drawn to you. They're going to feel happy with you. Okay? So then we go to the other ones. I'm sorry, I'm a little sick. So, talks about storm fields. So the disruptions in your life, what we were talking about, they are going to happen. Then the dry desert. Sometimes when nothing is happening or too much is happening and we feel lost and alone and we don't know, what's going to happen. Those are the moments you need to ask guidance from your higher self, not when you're doing fine. Right? Although you should, Course in Miracles says, you should drop on your knees and ask for help from your higher self and never get back up. That's why we have problems and strife and pain in our lives. Because we forget to stay, in our knees asking for help and asking our higher self to guide us all the time. That's why we get in trouble. If we learn the lesson to stay on our knees, it's going to be easier to navigate. It's not that we're not going to have difficulties, of course we are, but they're going to be so much easier to navigate. And then it's here, rescue, which means that higher self coming to give you and bring to you what you need, even when you think you're by yourself, floating alone in an island in the middle of space without no one around you. There comes rescue and help from your higher self when you ask for it. Ask for help, especially people, women who are very independent, or men. Usually men they don't ask for directions, we know that. They have more difficulty asking for help. You have to ask for help. People around you or your higher self. And then education, meaning what? This is a new way of living, so you have to educate yourself, and the only way we learn is by repetition. So when you do this and it works, and you do this and it works, then you learn it's the way to go. It's not going to be your first option because you haven't been doing it, but you have to learn to do this. Stay on your knees asking for help. It's an education, okay? And then you can't make this up. The angel card was support, meaning what? That we are supported, that we have the help we need if we ask for it. I'm sorry. That the universe is ready to give us assistance, but we need to ask for it. So the message in the end is we all have conflict in our lives. We all have periods when we feel lonely. We feel we're just striving and nothing is happening. We feel alone. We feel tired. And at those times, focusing on the here now and doing what you need to do while asking for help is what's going to give you emotional satisfaction. There's a new vision that we need to develop, and it has to do with the process of asking our higher self for guidance. Whenever you're doing that, it's like you're incorporating energy from a higher level. So what's going to happen? Your vibration is going to come up. So you're going to naturally transcend your ego. That's what we're trying to do. Go, transcend and transform ourselves so we are not operating from the hurts and the pains and the neurosis of our ego, which always has the same answers. And the answers are dynamics that were established when we were children and we had, Everybody has pain and difficulties in their life, and then you set your limitations and you repress part of yourself. So that's what we don't want to do. We want to transcend that, okay? And we do that by being here now in the simple, ordinary things of every day. Transformation happens every single day in the little things that happen to us, and we decide and we choose to respond from a higher level of ourselves after asking for guidance, okay? So that will elevate your level of beingness. You're going to vibrate in a higher level as you do this every day. It has to be a process and something that you have to learn. When is this more important? Of course, when you're going through difficult times, when you're in the middle of a storm, or you are in the middle of a dry desert, when you feel lonely and by yourself. But the important things to understand is that this is something you need to do every day, even when you're out of the woods, okay? Because that way you will avert karmic situations from being as difficult as they were going to be, because you're already on the path. It's like if something is gonna hit you from a lower, karma is coming this way and you are vibrating down here, it's gonna hit you like right on the head. But if you're up here, it's gonna hit you, but you're gonna get just only a vibration that's gonna be toned down, because you're vibrating in a higher level. Like if you were to be paraplegic, have an accident and become paraplegic, because karmically you are receiving that, but then you're vibrating up here, you'll get into an accident, you will go to the hospital, you will have a cast on your legs, and you will maybe end up with a little limp instead of being a paraplegic. You're still gonna get your karma. It's just you're gonna get a muted effect from that karma instead of the full blow, because you were still vibrating down here. Got it? It's a spiral. So it's an education, something we need to do every day, and your higher self is here to help you. Holy Spirit is here to help you, if you want to call it that. The angels are going to be here to help you, if you want to call it that. Call it whatever serves you. Just do it. Okay? God bless you. Have a nice day.